Finally, we are back. I missed you, Bamweda. We are back. We are the same. Just the name has changed. The attitude, the goal, everything stays the same. Welcome to today's episode of To the Fullest. Yeah, this is a podcast where we say it all. A podcast where we talk it all without leaving or leaving any stone unturned. And what's the best way to start it if not with my guy, my Arsenal brother? No,
Gunners for life.
Gunners for life.
Yeah.
So, what's your stand? Does it stand? Are we going to the finals?
I think looking at how we played like the previous match.
Looking at how we lost the previous match.
Yeah, looking at how we lost, I think we shouldn't have conceded that goal.
Yeah.
But there's still a chance. I mean, the aggregate is like a 1-0.
1-0.
So we still stand like a chance to do something.
You know, the weekend we also lost. You know, that was.
I think our focus right now is
the Champions League. Eh?
Yeah, at least if we can do something.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever happens, the good thing is Gunners for life.
Exactly.
Yeah, we are Arsenal forever. Arsenal the best.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, this is my Arsenal brother. So, you my guy. So, on today's episode, I feature the one and only RANO. RANO. You know, I've pronounced it correctly.
Yeah, you're correct.
You know, us Bembers, it might sound like Lano.
Actually, it's not just you, Bembers. Yeah. I actually have these incidences where people from back home, like my hometown, would just say Lano instead of Rano. So I'm used. I'm like, okay.
Let me help my Ghana person to put it so that you can be heard. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm used. When people just say Lano, others jokingly call me that, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So Rano, we know that apart from being a student, I can see you're presenting the school. Yeah. Hopefully, I can find the way of masking this because I don't want to mark it for free.
Oh, for real?
I know, it's okay. Keep it. Oh my God, it's because you're Arsenal, we'll keep it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being a student, being an artist, you are, and being a business person, you are a lot. Mm-hmm. And the lifestyle, keeping it up. You're busy on TikTok, Facebook, keeping up with your content. Actually, I love your content.
Appreciate it.
And I love your editing. It's so perfect.
Appreciate it.
I love your team, those people. They are good.
Thank you.
But before we can dive into much details, talks, all those, so who is Rano? How was the life like growing up? Also, before I forget, thank you for coming us at your place. We appreciate it.
Yeah, always.
Thank you for hosting us. Yeah. So, who's Rano? How was life like growing up?
Life growing up has been awesome. That I can't lie. I have like very supportive parents, and these are the people that I make sure I've been always more upright in everything that I do. Making sure I'm doing the right things at the right time. I can't say I'm a perfect person.
I know.
Exactly. There are times where I've gone wrong, and they'll be there to put me back right in track. Say, oh, this is the way to go. And I think to me that alone put me on a path where I learned how to focus on my vision and not to say everything happens at the right time. The mistakes we make are what make us who we are today. So whenever I made a mistake and they would correct me, I felt like it wasn't them scouting me, but they were just trying to make sure I'm on the right path in life.
No, that's really good. So that having supportive parents, it's just the other day, I think 2 days ago, I saw one public figure, one very established public figure posted you. It's like you made them, it was a selfie. I was like, yo, my guy. I was like, no, let me call. I need to talk to him. I was like, no, I think let me invite him.
That's true.
That was great. So, how does those opportunities come where you just meet, great people, and when you meet such, how do you behave? There's those excitement where people, when they see what you do, people they just want selfies. And how is it for you?
You're talking about Mr. Alex Momasakala.
Yeah, I saw
Okay, cool. So, what happened that day? The thing is, shout out to my brother Moviana. So it was a situation where I think I had like back-to-back classes that day, so I wanted to get some rest, and he called me. He was like, "Can you give me a push? We just look for a certain chill spot where I can just take my, my partner out and go." So I said, "Okay, cool. I had nothing to do, so I can give you a push." So we first made a stop at one of these nearest places. I think at Long Winjifungu Road, taste of India in Lusaka.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
that place.
yeah,
I love that
that
place.
place is nice. I want
Yeah.
that. Then he was like, "Okay, since we didn't find what we were really looking for," he said, "Let's go to Manda Hill." So we went to Manda Hill, and this is why I say God's timing, just the way things happen. They
Yeah.
happen in a certain way that you fail to understand.
Yeah.
So we reached Manda Hill. Then I think we were going to the elevator. Wanted to go on the top floor. Yeah. Then I see Mr. Alex walking. He was also going in the same elevator. So for me, at that moment, I just froze because this is someone I follow, like the entrepreneurship tips as well. So I froze for a moment. I didn't know how to react. By your emotions, your mind is just scattered. So my first thought was I was shocked. And he's a humble man.
You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I sometimes ask myself to say, does this man know who he really is on the ground? So he was just walking calmly. Then, so as he was approaching the elevator, then I was also going to the same elevator with my guy. And I was like, Mr. Alex, how are you? Showing that respect. Like, Mr. Alex, how are you? So we exchanged pleasantries there. Then the next thing is we're in the same elevator. Now, whilst we're in the elevator, my mind was still scattered. It's like I froze. Like I didn't know what to say. So we were out of the elevator. We walked out. Then I talked to him. I was like, sir, you know what? I didn't think about asking for money. Most times people will see these established people and say, "Can one take us? Can one take us?" So for me, it was an opportunity. Like, let me sell myself. So I told him, I was like, "Sir, I'm a procurement and supply chain management student. Apart from that, I'm also a digital marketer. Like, that's my area of expertise." So he was so calm, he was so attentive, he was listening to what I was saying. And just the way I presented myself, there was so much that I can say that I said to him. Just the way I presented myself to him, he was impressed. So for me, it was like I told my girl, like, let me just take a picture of this man. Not knowing he was impressed with how I presented myself. The big man took a selfie using his phone. It's rare you find public figures doing that, established people. So he took a selfie, I also took some pictures on my phone. Then we parted ways, exchanged contacts, Yeah, we exchanged yeah, we exchanged contacts because I also pitched a business idea. So that seemingly like impressed him. Yeah, so we exchanged contacts. Then next thing is we leave Manda Hill. Here's the thing. Other people who are working, like approaching him, they're like, "Sir, we're looking for a job." But I feel what made him share his contact with me is the fact that I didn't go to ask for money. I did approach him, with the same energy everyone went with, like, I'm looking for a job. For me, it was different. It was about selling myself out in the sense that I would want to make quick and, just build from that. So after that, got back to my to my place, came here. Then I just uploaded the picture I took with him using my phone. I forgot. I was like, these people. Forgot. Then my friend started calling me. Have you seen what? And I was about to sleep. Have you seen what has happened? I'm like,
what has happened? Have I killed the person? Was Jackson or what?
And my friend was like, we're surprised. What are you doing on Mr. Alex? So when I logged in, I saw the picture. Because for me, it came in as a shock because he didn't say I met RANO. No. He said Baby Africa, which is like a business now. It's a clothing apparel. So that alone, I won't lie to you. Just after that picture, it put me on a certain spotlight where there's this certain level of respect I earned from different people that I might contact. And a few companies have been sending CVs to, apply. So it's like they got back to me. They're like, "Oh, we read the CV. Are you available to start doing this?" So it's unfortunate, school is demanding.
Mm.
Yeah, school is demanding our own time. So there's a situation where I had to think about everything and just
So,
be honest with myself.
so Ram,
Yeah,
I think my question is that
yeah.
if you was to put everything in time,
Mhm.
how long was the interaction with the big man?
Less than 5 minutes.
5 minutes. How
Yeah.
many of us here, how many of us watching can say ourselves in 5 minutes? We are very busy. No, there's this man who always tells me that to know that you know what you're doing and you love what you're doing is if you can explain it to a 2-year-old or you can sell your idea in a minute.
Mhm.
And in less, yeah, no, like in less than 10 or 15 minutes, and you did in 5 minutes.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes. Like, to be honest, it was less than 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I think maximum was three,
Yeah.
3 minutes. So I can just say it was less than 5 minutes in the sense that just everything, the way I just packaged
Yeah.
it, and these are established people for him to share his contact.
Yes, very
It's
important.
something big. Yeah.
Okay, so coming to baby Africa, let's talk about that. One thing I've come to realize, or every time I'm seeing posts about your content, I've realized that people rarely the people call you Rano, or you are always addressed as baby Africa. What has happened?
So,
You're everybody's child.
not really. Okay,
Yeah.
the thing is, people need to understand, say, most times your brand is your identity, you know. So I know a number of people. Baby Africa made a debut like in 2021.
Mm.
Yeah, that's when I put out everything. Like, that was my first project that I put out because it's a clothing apparel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby Africa is a clothing apparel. So from there, I featured in the newspaper. And then people took it to say, "Oh, Baby Africa." It's like that was the easiest name they could remember. So I was like, "Baby Africa." Okay, Baby Africa. So people who know me from way back, big high school days, junior secondary school days, who say one thing, like they'll describe me to say, this guy is someone who says, he's just, I just have this crazy mentality of wanting to change the world. And when I say the world, I'm not talking about the globe, no, my world. People should look at me and say, but how did you do it?
Yeah.
I did it differently from
Yeah.
how others do it. So yeah, people knew me say, "Oh, Baby Africa." It's a brand. I'm not Baby Africa, but I represent Baby Africa. So Baby Africa is like a brand. That's like my identity. There's Baby Africa. There's RANO ZM. There's Artwaves.
I know RANO ZM.
So RANO ZM is also an artist name.
I think that's where I'm coming. So,
Yeah.
how do you feel like when you expect people to call you by your name, but instead they call you by your brand? Does it hurt you sometimes, or you feel proud of yourself?
I'm proud in the sense that it shows to say I represent my brand well. I've never had an incident where someone says Baby Africa, then I ignore them. Yeah. I would respond. Then, if we have little time to interact with them, I tell them, say, look, Baby Africa is this. I'm Ran. I just end on saying I'm Ran because they call me Baby Africa. It's just a clothing apparel. I can't branch out to other stuff that I do. So I just say, oh, Baby Africa is the clothing apparel. Then I show them the clothing apparel. So others who are interested in very pre-order. They send because I usually do pre-orders. Businesses.
Yeah,
I'm a startup, so guiding for bigger things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Baby Africa, maybe. Let me talk just a little bit about that. People with clothing, brands or businesses,
Yeah.
they go for luxury names,
Yeah.
those names that are appealing.
Yeah.
So how did Baby Africa come up? How
Uh,
did you settle for that?
I'll be honest with you, Baby Africa is something that has been like on my vision board since my high school days.
Yeah.
But I never used to talk about it. Mostly, I'll just write it in a book. So, firstly, Baby Africa was the name I wanted to give to myself, like to be my artist name.
Mm.
But then I thought about the how I love business when it came to the clothing business and all that, like how I always wanted to have my own clothing apart. So I was like, okay, Baby Africa. Like, why should I call it Baby Africa? So if you look at a baby's, how can I say, when you look at the lifeline, of being born to grow up, the stages. So just that part, baby. Instead of saying roots of Africa, I said baby. So that represents the roots. It shows to say you start from somewhere. If baby Africa was established from another country, people would have been saying, oh, baby Africa is from Italy, or baby Africa is from America. But what are people going to say right now? Baby Africa is from Zambia. So you get it, baby. Yeah, that's where it comes from. Instead of saying roots of this, I say baby.
Africa. So this is where I'm coming from.
This is where I'm coming from. It's like it's a journey. You have to watch me grow. Africa is the continent itself. These are the roots of this body. So it's like you just be proud of rocking the roots where it comes from. In as much as it seems to be a simple brand, the message behind it is quite big. There are times I sit down. I'll tell you one sad story. So the time I launched Baby Africa, um, the first thing that happened was, so I put it out on social media. It was available for sales online. Like my parents came in, they're interested. So they're like, we can help you. So I got the funds that they gave me, then I pumped them in, but it was challenging because I wasn't paying in Lusaka, so I had these middlemen I had to pay. Yeah. So I put out the brand, I advertised with my other friends who had other friends from the USA because my vision was to export the brand. Then I get to receive feedback to say one person, I'm not going to be precise, I don't want to paint a racist bad. So this one person from this certain country was like, I can never put on something that has the name Africa on it. That I'm starting in. That's the feedback I get. So that hurt me so much, and I was like, okay, cool. What can I do? So I had to pay for another. I had to pay for Baby Africa to have like a simplified, design. So that's why I brought in. There's this certain design I used to call the triangle design. I never put it out that much. Showed that same design to that particular person. The person still refused to say, I don't want the Africa here. That be too. So I sat down and thought to myself, say, why am I doing this? So I'm doing this just for one person. One person who's negative about what I'm doing wants to bring me down. So I just had to soldier on and keep on pushing the brand. So it's a journey. I can't say it's been easy. I've made losses. I've lost people through that. You can imagine friends. Yeah, it's never as easy as it looks. We just make it look easy. Yeah.
Business is never easy.
Business is never easy.
Let's talk the side of music. RANO ZM. What are the roots? What inspires your music? How did it start? How is it going? What are some of the challenges?
So, music-wise, oh, by the way, I'm from Togo, Southern Province.
Yeah.
That's my hometown.
Yeah.
So, it all started like, it was also like back in high school.
Yeah.
I've got friends who would see me draw like certain things behind my books. That was like in grade 9.
Yeah.
I would draw myself performing.
Yeah.
So in case people thought as I started music when I was down in school, it was never like that. I've always been an entertainer. Yeah, I've always been an entertainer. So I would draw myself performing behind books. Then I never used to take them. I never used to take the music seriously. I just used to say, if you buy say So as time went on, then I think that was after grade 11 somewhere there. Whenever power used to cut, would go behind the hostels with my friends, rap. I was a rapper before I became this Afrofusion artist. So I was a rapper first, then with time I changed and I knew what I really wanted to do, what I wanted to sing about. So I thought, RANO, okay, RANO. Funny thing is, shout out to Maton. He's the one who gave me the artist name RANO ZM. Like it was a challenge and he said, okay, what's going to be the artist name? Then I sat, I was like, artist name? It's never easy to come up with an artist name.
Yeah.
So I had these suggestions like Nasty R. I thought to myself, no, 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 I can't do Nasty R. What name then he was like RANO ZM. We'll go with RANO ZM. So from there, RANO ZM has been just there. Yeah, so I'm an Afrofusion artist, songwriter, also performing artist. One thing I can also say is it's not easy. Music is not easy. So when you see people go up to certain levels, like just want to blow up, I understand there are times maybe music might be the only source of making out. So for me, at that point, you can see I had maybe Africa, then I had the music. I learn from what I see, what challenges people speak about. I learn from that. Then I try to find the solution within my, yeah. So I told myself, I was like, if I'm going to do music, then I can have something to big to like back me up always. So RANO ZM started selling out like that. Back home, yeah, people know RANO ZM back home. But then, you know what they say about a prophet not be acknowledged in their hometown?
Yeah.
I felt like a change of location would do something. So I came to Lusaka. Lusaka has also been, it's difficult. The number of talented.
We have a lot of artists here.
This one time I was called to perform at a certain institution, then they failed. I heavily advertised. And in as much as people would say they weren't coming for the main artist, there are people who are coming to watch me, see me what I do, see what I do and all that. But when I reached there around like 19. They had to tell me to go behind someone where I sat. Now you can imagine from 19 to 03,
This when you had to perform.
I didn't perform. 19, like they kept on skipping my name. Skipping my name. I was not dressed for that event. I was ready, like I was geared up. So 03, I think that event had main acts like Yo Maps, J Cash, Mike Two. Yeah, before those guys came because we were opening the station. So they kept on skipping my name, skipping my name. Then I had no choice. I just said that let me go and find out, because I'm an independent artist. I'm my manager.
Yeah.
I do everything. So I had to get out of my comfort zone. Then I approached the MC. I was like, Chief, you've been skipping my name. Then here's what the MC does. Pushes me. Like so I was like, oh no, it's fine, it's fine. So I went to the DJ guy. I was like, we were given a list. I won't mention the DJ. He's acting like that on social media. But I just want people to not say there's always time for everything, like time and time. Yeah. So I went to the DJ. Here's what the DJ tells me. Beleka flash yako. So when your maps talked about the challenges that artists usually face when coming up, that's true. It's not a made up story. Yeah. I was just told to say Beleka flash yako. I'm dressed for the event. So I just said that it's fine. I booked the angle. I was heartbroken that day because like the audience was quite big. I booked the angle. Then I came back to my room. I sat down. I started asking myself questions like, it's basically my thing. But that didn't stop me. I went ahead and wrote a song about how I felt, trying to communicate, how I felt.
Yeah.
But something that can be appealing to the general audience, which it's yet to be out. It will be out before the year ends. So it's challenging like that.
Does it feature anyone big? Or
No,
you
no,
just
no,
want
no.
to go solo and cry out?
For now, I can't really say crowd. I think it's a way of communicating, yeah. And it's like I speak for men. You ever listen to a song and you go like, I relate to this? Yeah, those are the type of songs I do. I relate to. Someone should say I relate to this. So no, I'm not featuring anyone. I just decided to.
So, if I heard you clearly, we are saying that will be your only song this year.
Not really. I have about 3 songs that will be out this year. So I just need to see how best
So,
everything will be done.
being an upcoming artist, when we look at upcoming artists, with this song, they do that for them to at least hoping for the best. And they're talking about releasing 3 songs in this year. Where do you get the confidence to say, I think this is enough? Because people push as an upcoming are trying to behave.
I'll be honest with you, my brother. I'll be brutally honest with you. It's not about releasing songs every now and then. People need people need space
Yeah.
to feel your song.
Yeah.
You need to pressure your song to people, because the thing is, just because your song played at this one radio station doesn't mean you've been heard by everyone.
Yeah.
That's why we miss it.
Yeah.
So you have to push yourself, like you have to keep pushing yourself. If it's one song, push it. You know what one person told me? If you can listen to your song more than twice, thrice, several times, trust me, even the next person who's going to listen to it is going to do it. So it's something you need just money to push. One song can put you out there. Just one song.
Yeah. All right. So you talked of being a student. So my question is, how do you balance time? Or before I come to a student, as far as we know in Zambia,
Yeah.
it's hard for our parents to support us in terms of music. There are things of it's wasting time, drugs, alcohol, ladies. What has been your situation as your parents or everybody around you being supportive of your music and you doing music and being in school?
So at first, the music is what kept me first.
Okay.
So my parents thought I was losing it, because there's always this notion like people do music and die. Yeah, like there's always this thing about
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so I was like, no, that's not true. But it took time for my parents to accept to say I do love music. You know, yeah, there were days back and forth like that. Then this one time, dad came for a show, so he was just coming to watch what was going on. Then he saw me perform. This man started dancing to my music,
Yeah. Yeah.
So from there, he loved what he saw, He's like, okay, he also loves this. And he's saying, he told me one thing: we never know what puts you out there in life. We never know. So if it might be music, it might be the clothing apparel, it might be the digital marketing stuff. You never know.
Let's show yourself out.
Yeah. Then for mom, it was a thing when she was in town, she just knocked off from work. Then some people are walking behind and they were listening to the song I just released, So Tab. I don't know if you jumped to that song.
So
My name is So Tab.
oh
Yeah. So it's like the people that were behind were listening to it, and they go like, "That's the mother to RANO ZM." Then she acted as though she didn't get anything, but she got the conversation.
yeah.
So when she came home, she was like, "RANO, you do music?" I was like, "Yes, I do music." She kept quiet. She kept quiet. I was scared, I was scared.
Investigation, yeah.
You do music. You need to go to school. So I was like, okay, I don't know problem here.
Yeah.
So with time, yeah, just from home.
Yeah.
When it's like, whenever there was an event in town, I'm like, maybe find a way out. Around 18.
Sneak out.
Yeah, just sneak out around 18. I'm out. Find myself performing there. It's either I perform or I don't perform, because another challenge when you're an uprising act, they tell you to pay to perform.
Yeah.
You pay to perform, not get paid to perform. You pay to perform. I'm not just to communicate. Yeah. So with time, I think it came to a point where mom was just like, that's doing it. And the fact that I also kept on saying I want to go to school. So that was that.
I love your story, the support you get from people and some of the challenges you've addressed. But you are a lot of staffs and still young. And a student, school is a lot of things.
Yeah.
So how do you just manage your time and manage all your brands? And I think being a business person, I know there are some people working behind. You said you have to have people who are like your agent and all that. So how do you manage yourself and just manage these people around you and keep everything
Wow.
running?
So I only had middlemen back then. Right now I'm alone. I
Wow.
only had middlemen in 2021. Yeah, one thing about life, I always have this dynamic view of life. So I make sure not all my eggs are in one basket. They're in different baskets. So I always know to say, okay, this is time to do this. This is time to do this. This is time to do this. Whenever it's time for school, it's time to study, it's time for anything school related, you you will never find me speak about the other things I do.
Yeah.
It's school. My focus is school. If you find me attending a meeting where I'm doing, maybe it's a meeting for digital marketing stuff, strictly that. So for me, I have this dynamic view when it comes to life. And I always tell myself I've got 24 hours. I have these hours to rest. I have these hours to fix my life. You hear what people say about life. Life starts. It is at 40.
Yeah.
I can tell you that notion has killed so many of us young men because we think, oh, I still have time. You can play around. By the time you hit 30, or even just your mid 20s,
Yeah.
25, you start
21.
asking yourself,
What have I
what am I?
done?
What have I done like in my early 20s? But here's the thing: people tell you say you're still young, you still have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. And each and every time I meet people who say that, trust me, I tell them say we don't have time. We don't have time. You're killing us with these whole, advices say you're still young.
I
Play
think
around.
some of those notions,
Yeah.
our parents just use them to comfort themselves when things didn't go well. But it's unfortunate that it has been passed on to us, and we people of this generation
Yeah.
talking about that. I think it's a waste. When you see people your age, doing better things, I think such thoughts are something we have to stay
Yeah.
away from or run away from.
You look around. Like, the thing is, let's say you sleep it. You just wake up the next day. I'm 25.
Mm.
You wake up the next day, someone of like the same age is saying, I've bought a house.
Exactly.
How am I going to feel about that?
Yes, it's a lot.
But they are saying you're still young, just play around. So we should evolve. As the world evolves, let's also evolve. Our way of thinking should also evolve.
We should not tag success with age.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that was the issue back then.
Yeah.
They expect someone to be successful now in their late 20s or 30. So someone 21, 22 starting up something or realizing a dream for themselves. I think it's not only a taboo to them, I think something scary. They'll think, no, maybe an abida for guida,
Yeah.
those stuffs, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that should be such talks. When people saying I see I talk about I say my connections. I won't lie to you. Everything that's established right now, baby Africa, the name, I'm not saying the business, the name I'm establishing actually. RANO ZM. Anything that I do is built from scratch. There was never lack. It's just been hard work, consistent. I've made losses along the way. I won't lie. People think as though I'm always making money. No.
That's what people think when you're doing business.
Yes, there are days I go to zero. I won't lie. There are days I'll be at zero. My bank balance zero. Then there are times when no, just. But people don't see all that. We see that behind the scenes because we are the ones doing everything.
So how do you get to your feet when you make an investment that doesn't go well?
So this is where I say there's backup.
Backup.
Yeah. So by
Yeah, I've seen
backup,
you insisted much on backup.
so
Yeah.
by backup I mean I know to say if I push money there, the money doesn't come back. Let's say I push 1,000 into production of maybe capes or what's this bucket hats, golf t-shirts. Nothing comes out of that. Just comes back as a loss. My backup will be my digital marketing business.
Yeah.
I'll not say I'll
You
give
said
backup
get
now.
something. Yeah.
Because from the digital marketing business, it's either a contract for service or I have this person. wanting to learn how to manage their platforms. You know, then I charge for all that. So that's the backup.
I see.
Yeah.
No, you're
You have to
doing
be
great.
strategic.
You have to be strategic.
Exactly.
You have to be strategic in life.
Exactly.
I've learned so much.
No, I appreciate.
You had a very interesting and I love how you keep believing and keep moving despite all the challenges. But when you look at your life and everything you're doing, would you say everything is just for you or it has been God? Where do you base all your stuff?
God first. My parents, my siblings, me, my small circle of friends. I have a very small circle of friends. Very small.
Why small?
Ah,
I thought you're supposed to have a very big one since you want to build a bigger brand.
so
They say that your network is your net worth.
so friends is a big word.
Mm.
Friends is a big word. People should understand. Say the person you just said hi today, not your friend. It's just someone you know.
Yeah,
They are acquaintances.
yeah.
They are people you may know. They are now they are friends. They are business partners. They are workmates. You should categorize people like that. Then you're safe.
I know.
You can't call every Jim and Jack your
Yeah,
friends. No? Not every Jim and Jack should know your baby.
yes. Come again?
Not every Jim and Jack should know your baby.
Oh, I love that one. Not every gym and Jack should know your bedroom. Oh yeah, that's very good. I hope my people get it. Well, RANO ZM, before we close, I just wanted to give your last word, no, word of encouragement to a young person watching you out there, the people believing in music and the brand, things of for them. Yeah.
So I just want to say like thank you to everyone who's been part of this journey.
Yeah.
RANO ZM, Baby Africa, even more that is yet to come. I just want to appreciate you guys for having me on this podcast.
We appreciate
This is actually my first podcast
Yeah.
that I've been invited to anyway, just to speak about this. I know there are like some podcasts back home, but I've never been invited to any.
So we appreciate accepting it.
So I appreciate so much because I've always been looking forward to a point where I get to tell people who Baby Africa is, who RANO ZM is. And my encouragement to my fellow youth out there are people that are ahead of me, there are people that were on the same path with, there are people that are behind me. Never stop learning. Stay humble, you know. Humility can be a path, a one-way path to success. You do not know everything. Always be willing to learn from people. Be it young, be it of the same age, older than you. Be humble, respectful, and always accept to say life is dynamic. You fought today, you need to get up tomorrow. There's no what's this, what do we call it, a script that we can follow to say this is the way you're supposed to live. No, but that doesn't mean because you only live once is no, there's no script and you should mess up your
Write
life.
your own script.
Write your own script.
Yeah.
Take that steering wheel. The car is your life.
Yeah.
Make sure you hold on steady to the steering and know where you're going. So from me to you guys, thank you so much. Keep on supporting RANO ZM. Trust me, good things take time. It's just one day you're going to say, this guy said this. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, RANO, for welcoming us. I appreciate Baby Africa.
Yeah.
I want something. I want Baby Africa cape as well. So that next time on another podcast I can
Not
wear
a
it.
problem. I think once we resume like production, I'll definitely reach out because I was thinking about that. Say, if I had something, I would have.
We needed the brand to be seen because today I was intentional to say, since I'm coming back, let me announce myself to say, you can follow us as you can see on YouTube, it's Vagwa Media, TikTok, Vagwa Media, and Facebook, it's Vagwa the Voice. Otherwise, as I always say, in life, it's just confidence and audacity. It's all it takes to succeed. It's all it takes for you to be who you are. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting. I have been your host, Ivan Mapeva Gwada. See you next time.